is a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hi, we're Scott and Cindy.
Come be a ghost tourist with us.
And we'll tell you if the places are spooky or dooky.
Okay, so to finish our ghost tourist time in San Francisco, we went on the ghost tour called The Haunt.
Mm-hmm.
We were the first ones there to greet the ghost tour guide, the haunt guide. And so we got him talking.
My mother's a walking contradiction, so is my grandmother. They're both devout Catholics and witches.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that works out for them, but I'm very into it. I think that's
Very
wonderful.
interesting.
Roman Wiccan.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's amazing. It feels like there are times when we've communicated with spirits.
Oh, okay.
We're getting yeses and nos that feel very direct and very intentional. I think there's too much empirical evidence of people having
And how
experiences.
can it not be? Like, there's just too much energy in this world.
And that's what I believe in the most.
But that was cool.
With that, are we ready to go?
Yes.
Let's do it. We're heading on this way.
Ghost tour.
It's raining in San Francisco. Ghost tour.
So one of the stories we heard about on the tour is when they had a construction project in San Francisco in 1850, and they uncovered the largest graveyard in San Francisco as they were digging. And so they attempted to move the bodies, and it was just a disaster with
Thousands upon thousands of corpses just laying out in the mud and the muck for hours and days, rotting in the sun. The stench must have been incredible.
and so the city basically abandoned the project, leaving the bodies in the dirt and throwing the tombstones into the bank. That's the right response.
That's desecration.
So a few years later, they decided we need a city hall. And where would they want to build that? Right where all those bodies were. But when they dug up the bodies this time, they found pieces of bodies. There weren't whole bodies.
The few bodies that were fully intact, they were missing their heads, as if decapitated by the neck.
Because apparently during this time in San Francisco, there was a fear of vampires. So vampire hunters would dig up corpses and cut off their heads so they couldn't rise up from the dead. So all the bodies were messed up.
So they just were disrespectful to all of them.
Yes, and so now
Our city hall is understandably one of our more haunted buildings here in San Francisco.
people feel cold spots and they hear moaning, weeping, and voices and disembodied footsteps.
Definitely disembodied.
Yes, they hear office chairs rattling, clanking in empty rooms, and the bathroom faucets turn on. This is bathroom faucets, by the way. I'm not doing anything bad.
The bathroom faucets are up here?
Yeah.
Or down here?
Then starting in 1924, every day, just after noon.
I liked it better when you went, then!
Then, in 1924, every single day after it turned noon, after 12 o'clock, the employees heard 5 rapping sounds. Short pause, and then 3 more.
Okay.
And it seemed to be coming from the walls.
Okay.
And it kept going.
Became enough of a problem in 1924, they hired a local medium, a psychic, to cleanse the space.
But things only got worse after that. And metal detectors were going off for no reason. Things were pushing people when they tried to go into the bathroom. And they felt ghost fingers running through their hair. Their silky hair.
Ghost fingers?
Yeah.
That's hearsay, though.
How was that hearsay?
Well, the haunt people told you that, so that's hearsay.
So apparently it's still haunted. They couldn't get rid of it.
Did they ever find out what it was?
It was a ghost.
I know, but I thought you said that they hired a psychic.
No, they hired the psychic to try and send the ghosts on their way and clear the
Oh,
space.
but the psychic didn't tell them who it was or
No.
why it was rapping 5 times
No.
and then 3 times.
No, so there's no conclusion or satisfying
Yeah, so
ending.
we'll never know what the meaning of the 5 plus the 3 is.
Well, it's 8.
Right.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I think I always think trying to get on the water is probably one of the best.
Hey, you're
It's
red.
gonna go off here again. I don't want to fool anybody. This is a big
yeah.
high voltage. It says it right there.
Oh.
This is a good one.
Yeah?
In the earthquake of 1906,
Big earthquake.
yes, big San Francisco earthquake. I'm sure. Have you heard of it?
Yes!
Okay, so that earthquake sent 50 bulls stampeding through the streets of San Francisco.
Oh, like it broke down their pen and they just went crazy.
Who knows why? So the earthquake killed most of those 50 bulls. Okay?
Yeah, they reached kind of the point where we're standing in the video and couldn't go any further, and they basically got piled up and
Right. And so most of them died right here.
Yeah,
Who's telling the story, you or me?
you are.
Okay.
I like to add color, and you, when I tell the story, just go, oh.
So people that were putting out the fire, firefighters and other people that were trying to put out the fire, had to hack their way through bodies of people and bulls.
You think that's hilarious, huh? You think that's funny?
That were here in this area to get to the buildings that were on fire to put it out. So that's the backstory, right?
Disgusting.
Okay, so a year later, a man that was standing right here in this area felt a rumbling
Oh, another earthquake.
underneath his feet. No.
No.
And he looked and he saw 50 white bulls that were not real, but they were spectral bulls.
Oh, ghost cows!
Bulls.
Okay.
Stampeding through the area that he was standing. He froze, closed his eyes, felt an energy pass him, an energy of 50 bulls.
You get into that 50
Pass
times?
through him. When he opened his eyes, all he saw was the white rumps of 50 ghost bulls on the other side,
Wow.
disappearing into the ether.
So we should let you know if we sense any bulls. Are these the first ghost animals we've encountered? No, we saw a dog or heard about a dog,
And cats.
but I think this is our first bull.
This is definitely our first bull, although not our first bull.
You can't say that. Not on YouTube's
Our bull poop.
bull poop.
So our tour guide brought out divining rods.
Oh,
To ask the ghost yes or no questions.
interesting.
Yeah.
There's someone in my audience that would like to use the dowsing rods, operating the equipment.
Recording's got to it.
I'll do it if nobody else wants to. I don't.
Please. Our first question is always, if there's a spirit or spirits with us, would like to communicate, could you give us a yes or no? Just like you were doing before. Put them very slowly right in front of you so they're absolutely parallel and flat. A little bit more up. A bit more both of them. Right there. Again, if there's a spirit here with us that would like to communicate, can you give us a yes or no? A little on the left for you. Okay, well, if that's happening, let's reorient everybody. You're going to stand there. There's a spirit here. Perhaps if you're being tentative, would you like us to leave?
There they go. I think they don't want us here.
Okay. A little applause here. Fantastic work. Very steady hands. We don't often get steady hands.
That's scary. You have to protect yourself. See? You can't take this stuff lightly. You have to protect yourself, and you're always joking around, and you can't do that. You have to be respectful and protect yourself.
I stopped listening after I stopped talking. The tour took us to a place that they call Gold Street. That's where all the people who mine for gold would bring the stuff they found to trade it for real money. And so they'd all line up on the street outside the assayer's office, which is where Vicks, the bar Vicks, is now.
Okay.
It's not the one you rub on your chest. It's spelled differently.
Big staple group.
Yes. But because there were all these miners lining up with gold in their hands or money in their hands,
Became the prime target of all the gangs of San Francisco. They came with knives, guns, sometimes just beating people in the street. Pandemonium, chaos. The soldiers outside of the Bix here, what was then the first assayer's office, would have rifles shooting people. Everyone's getting shot, running, screaming, getting out of the way. The craziest thing for me, though, is not even an hour later, they all come back, line up on the street, and do it all over again. Your entire life relies on getting that first assayers. Because of that, it feels like something lingers here.
so now when people go to this street, they feel very anxious, very nervous feelings.
Of course.
Some people feel very angry or frustrated. And like the bartenders and the waiters at the Vicks bar restaurant describe having clientele who just get incredibly violent out of nowhere. Not like because they got bad scampi, but because it's ghosts.
So the energy of the ghosts who have died or are feeling anxious
and angry. It makes people just.
Okay, they're afraid that they're going to get robbed for their gold.
These ghosts have been seen or felt as far back as 1850. Men's hats would blow off when there was no wind. Women would feel their dresses being pulled. Today, people often feel something on the back of their neck or a tap on the shoulder to make them turn around and nobody's there.
So on the spooky scale, we give the haunt ghost tours 5 out of 5.
Oh my living daylights.
Because they give you actual ghost stories, not just, murder and mayhem.
Yes, that's true.
And you actually get to do a little bit of ghost hunting with the EMF detectors and the divining rods. What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't give it 5, but
Well, what would you give it?
I don't know, 4. That's good. I think you gotta say 5 for, when somebody grabs your butt.
4.5?
All right.